Good job. My bad.
Yeah.
How should I
I'm
start
doing
this?
animation.
Well, we got Lane Kiffin on the mic this week, dog. He's sliding into influencer Sydney Thomas, who's 21 years old, DM. I got a question for y'all. He slid up on the DM and put Roll Tide. Is that flirting?
I see what you did there.
Is that flirting?
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I have no idea. I have no idea what that is. But he definitely seems to be very, very active on social media. Like, I see him on Twitter. He gotta be. He gotta be, right? Like,
It's either that or Lane knows the climate. He knows the college football world. He knows it's wild. He knows social media is huge. Maybe he's just trolling a little bit. A little troll.
I mean, she not ugly yet.
Yeah.
She not ugly.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not going to throw him out there under the bus. He's trolling. He's at Ole Miss. You know, they're going to play him. It's touchy.
I think he know what he was doing. I think he know exactly what he was doing. And I can speak from experience. I mean, when I met my wife on Instagram, I slid up on a Jeep Wrangler video and said, "That's a nice Jeep," knowing exactly what my intent was.
Didn't care nothing about that damn Jeep, huh?
Didn't care about it. I just needed a response so I could get to the phone number, get to what's next.
get to what's really
Kiffin
cool.
knew exactly what he was doing with that DM. Roll Tide, you the head coach.
He's just trying to stir the college scene up a little bit, get the juices going. You know what I'm saying? Getting the boys hyped, something to talk about, something to, you know.
I
don't know.
Is wifey pissed at home?
Maybe wifey sent it.
I feel like, I mean, she know her dude.
She know her dude. I mean, that's a valid. I mean, I think the wife should know exactly who that man is, but that's borderline. I think he knew what he was. I think he was trying to shoot his shot.
Maybe wifey's a marketing genius. And she said, send the DM. It'll go viral.
Matter of fact, let me see your phone.
I'll type it for you.
That's crazy work. That's crazy work. Well, his daughter is of age and she's dating. You know, we most of us at this set have daughters.
What's the boy? Whit Weeks. Is that his
Say it
name?
again?
I think that's his name. Whit Weeks, the linebacker.
Oh,
right?
the linebacker at LSU that the daughter's dating.
Yeah.
How do we feel about the dating scene? Like, if you were a coach, a head football coach, do you give your daughter rules to be able to go out there in real life? Do you give her rules on dating? You know, being a head football coach.
Absolutely, you have to. You have to. You can't not at least say, look, this is the structure, this is the confinements, this is the boundary. As a head coach, and I mean, honestly, I'm going to say at least I probably would feel better the fact that it's not my own player. Because I probably do not want to see my own player's face
Yes.
every single day in coaching. And if I know my daughter mad, he finna deal with that.
And this is college. This ain't high school.
You know what I'm saying?
So they're PDA. They're hugged up.
You know what I'm saying?
They're going places
they
together
think
in the
grown.
car.
They think they really grown.
Yeah, no.
They got their own dorms.
They got their own money.
Their own money now.
Let's talk about it.
I'm at least it's somewhere right where I can't, like, I don't see what's in the mix. Like, I can't, like, obviously I'm not able to tell what's going on. Obviously, you know, whatever, social media. But like, again, he seems to be a troll. Like, take the over, right? He seems to be a troll. He seems to be taking the punches. I'm sure he ain't happy about it, but
What can you do?
yeah.
I mean, as a former player, coach, Kiff, if I'm you, I'm gonna open up that playbook with my daughter and sit her down. Let's just go down the list.
Yeah.
Okay. Where does he play football? LSU. That's a really big school, honey. It's a really big school. It's a lot of kids go there. A lot of girls go there. You understand? LSU is a pretty big football team,
Yeah, he's
right?
pretty good too.
He's a pretty good player. Okay, now I'm not gonna tell her. You know, she's in college. I'm in Ole Miss. She's, she's where she is. There's probably not a whole lot he can even actually do without being the worst dad on the earth.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So I would just heavily advise against it. Heavily advise against it.
Try to let her see it for herself, map it out for her.
Yeah, and really, I would just go down the list. I would say it without saying it. Go down the list of who the guy is, where he plays football, the surrounding environment of that football team.
Just have some understanding.
We're just gonna go through it. We're gonna talk, guys, football, jocks, girls that are into that, and what as a man he may be dealing with, even while trying to be with you. You know what I mean? Is that something you want to deal with, honey?
Yeah,
that's what I'm asking her.
That's a tough spot to be in, and I think I agree with both of you guys. I mean, I have to have a little bit of rules. Whether I'm a head football coach for a female team or a male team, you can't date one of my players. That's my only, I think, rule.
Conflict of interest.
I think you can go date in other organizations, but to your point, I would open up that blueprint and tell them, like, hey, these are the best athletes. I know they look good. They at the best parties. Shoot, got money. What's stopping you from enjoying life? But understand, this is the culture that I was brought in.
I would tell her, have you ever seen a kid in a candy store?
But you know what? The other thing too about it is it's tough. The reason why I would really not want you to date my player, because it's a respect, it's a boundary, right? Yeah. So if I gotta now converse with this dude and he's my player, there's got to be I gotta treat him a little bit differently outside of football, like outside of the game, outside of whatever I'm coaching. But then he may misunderstand that when I'm trying to coach him. You know what I'm saying? And that's the dynamic that makes it so touchy, that why, like, it can't be my player. It just can't be.
Well, that's tough. I mean, Kiffin, going through a lot of controversial from the DMs, daughter wanted to date football players around him. What about this ESPN documentary? Did you guys see that? Al Davis wanted to draft Jamarcus Russell. Lane Kiffin wanted to draft Calvin Johnson, a Hall of Famer today. But they fire him because of that.
Because of that. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Al. I'm not gonna lie. There's no way you took a look at Calvin and Jamarcus, you held them side by side, and then you fired the guy that picked Calvin. There's no way you did that. That's kind of.
I mean, obviously.
Obviously he did.
Was Jamarcus really that? I mean, I know he was big, but was he that much more better than Calvin Johnson coming out of college? I know he was from Georgia Tech. They were known for wing T, running the football. Like, was there a huge difference on why they picked Marcus Russell?
I don't think so. I think the only thing you could probably think of is the offense don't go without a quarterback. That's the only logical reason you think I'm gonna go quarterback.
And he was at that time, he's LSU starting quarterback. He was, what they would see to be as a franchise quarterback. Yeah. Really big guy, had a huge arm. I think this is probably not too removed from the Dante Culpepper, Donovan McNabb era. So I just think, they probably saw, some potential in what he could be. I do remember he had a cannon.
You
know what I mean? But Calvin Johnson, though.
That's generational.
We got to talk about that.
What was his measurements,
I mean, but didn't they technically think Jamarcus was generational too, though?
True.
But he had the red flags coming out the gate, wasn't he?
I think at that point, I'm going athlete.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree with that. I mean,
like, Calvin's a generational athlete. Like, there's just not many Calvin Johnsons walking around, guys that big, that size, who can jump, run, move like a quick guy. Like, you don't see that every day.
No, yeah. I'm always gonna go with the unicorn athlete. I mean, we've already talked about it many times. It's hard to draft a quarterback in that top 10. And you talking about an organization like the Raiders that haven't had success since drafting Janikowski #1 overall. Like, bro, like you go with somebody that's like a Calvin Johnson. I mean, he went to a Detroit Lions team that was not good and proved that he was elite.
Double team him.
Gunner style, which is unheard of even in today's game with the
Yeah.
Jamar Chases and the Justin Jeffersons. Like, you just don't see it.
The fade ball has not looked the same since he left the game.
So why don't GMs allow coaches to make picks? Why, like, what do they see? Like, why would you hire a head coach and not give them the power to draft?
I mean, I think when I see, like, whether it be owners, take Jerry Jones, or you take GMs, there's a control factor there, and to them, they're playing a game. Like, for them, they're playing a numbers game, a talent game. Like, and I think they just think that they're obviously they're good in business. That's how they obviously got in that role.
Yes.
So I think they just look at it as, like, you're a coach, you're gonna go to the player, you're gonna give more money than I want to. My whole game inside the game is, how do I get the best players for the cheapest amount of price, right? And so I think that's where the coach is like, I want him, pay him. And then the GMs are like, technically, I believe that the GMs think that their emotions are removed for their picks, but they're not. There's a lot of GMs who pick emotionally, like, because they feel like he's the right guy, like they love him, whatever it is, and they have emotions too. But I think they think they're the least emotion because they're not actually coaching the kid. And that's obviously clearly, like, every situation I've been in, unless you like, that's not your pick, or you let the assistant GM, or you did let the coach pick, like, then your emotions are removed. Otherwise, you feel like you got to make the right choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things, like, because I agree. They probably do see it as business and dollar signs, but when running any type of business, especially in football, it comes down to winning games. It comes down to winning Super Bowls. It comes down to how many, players go into the Hall of Fame, coaches you get in the Hall of Fame. So why would you pay X coach $10+ million and not allow him to do what he was good at? If it's your job to run the business, run the overarching, of Jerry Jones at the Dallas Cowboys, shoot, let this head coach to go out there and do his thing. Because guess what? If he don't anyway, you was gonna fire him in two.
I know that's
that's the guilty side of it. It's like, you have enough power, but you don't have enough power to really go do your thing. But if you don't, I'm gonna fire you in 2 years. It's crazy to me.
I think some owners have maybe more, or GMs maybe have more football background than others. I think that's something that I've seen, but that doesn't mean that the ones that don't want to control the reins either sometimes. Like, sometimes they may not have a football background, but they are the owner, GM, and they want to call some shots. And I think that's kind of almost normal for something you're heavily invested in, and
A lot of money.
you know what I mean? Something that you're monitoring heavily. You definitely want some oversee, but I think the best situation is an owner who hires people to do their job. I think that's the best situation, because so you don't get the situation where a guy gets brought in, but he's playing for coaches who are like, that ain't my guy. And so they're coaching him like, that's not my guy. You know what I mean? And yeah, you have to adapt, obviously, if it's the team and the guy's paid and stuff like that. But I just think it causes unneeded friction. You know what I mean? Why not, hire correctly and hire people who you trust to, and have those conversations.
That's the hard part, and that's one of the things that I remember I realized in the organization when I looked at like a top to bottom scale, right? Kind of goes to kind of a negative thing, and sometimes people are putting people in positions, whether it be family members, friends, whatever, that they don't really belong, right? Like, it could be the GM hiring not the head coach, right? But the GM is like, oh, I got a buddy. I need him on staff, so I'm going to put him as the linebackers coach. And that dude's never played linebacker, doesn't understand linebacker,
Bad ball.
never even coached linebackers before. He coached running backs, and they just like, it's the opposite of running back, so just try to go ahead and like tell him to play inside out, or whatever you would tell the running back to do, tell the linebacker to do opposite type of thing. So that's one thing, because then you create a system of the DC or DB coach or D-line coach or whoever overcompensating him. So then when they go to their next job or wherever they go, they'll learn how to oversee things, or like they're used to controlling both. And now you have somebody that maybe is capable to do it, but you don't want to give him the reins. And so that's from the bottom step. But if you go all the way up to, owners are usually in their own class. They don't really switch. But when you get a GM, the GM you probably hiring is most likely an AGM somewhere else.
Yeah, for sure.
So when you get an AGM, he probably didn't have the full reins, full roles, and see everything that he saw as a GM, or get everything like really solidified. So he's got ability to be a GM, but the owners are, okay, well, I know I need to help him here. Or after a year of working with him, I see that I need to do this or do that, right? And then most people hire somebody, so that GM is going to hire a head coach. When he hires that head coach, you got to realize it's also best available. So if you're looking for a coach that maybe your side of the ball, you're good as a GM identifying offensive talent, you're trying to hire a head coach that's good at hiring defensive talent or finding defensive talent or making capable of that. But now they're still working together, and when you as a head coach make a defensive pick that maybe isn't panning out as fast as what that GM wants, now he's like, well, I got to do the defensive talent too, because it's a what have you done for me lately now. You have to perform business. So that's kind of what I see in the culture of the league. Like when it comes to coaching, I mean, I'm experiencing it myself coaching, and I'm not even in the league.
Right.
It's like someone just trying, like you hire somebody to do this job. They're showing you they're good at this job. I mean, it could be something so simple as like you hired a guy, like let's say I said, oh, I wanted this corner. I picked that corner. He comes and he does great for you for 1 year, 2 years, and then in his third year, for 2 games, he plays bad, and it's like, see, we got to move on. Like we got to figure out, like, can he get it fixed? Like that's kind of the.
And that's what I was saying. Like, I feel like some people are being in those situations of, you not my guy. So I was low key waiting on you to mess up. So I can go tell the GM or the owner, like, see, this is why. And, it's a tough situation because they're literally banking off other people's success, and that's what makes it tough.
I think they need to figure out a way to create a united front, everybody underneath that owner. Like if the owner brings in ex-head coach, that entire staff needs to be unified with the entire GM side, and scouting side. Because if one person disagrees or the other person agrees, whether they like the player or not, if you get both sides in unison, I think that's where you see a lot of these teams that win for a long time. Like the Patriots, where they weren't even drafting people in the first round. They were getting these people in free agency, people that was coming in trades, and it was like, he's not the fastest, he's not the best. Like you can't tell me Edelman was the best athlete out there. You can't tell me Gronk was the most polished tight end in the world. Like Tom Brady in the 7th round. Like you can't make some of this up. But I think when both sides agree, it's examples from not only the Patriots, the Steelers, Green Bay, like these teams that have winning histories, they go on and have very successul programs. So I really believe like you have to get that unified front on both sides of the building.
Like I have a buddy that's a scout, right? He said what he feels like makes him a good scout is he actually goes and talks to the position coaches. And when he goes and talks to position coaches, he's like, okay, what do you want to coach? You know what I'm saying? Like, because I could go scout a kid and know, like, he's great, but I want to make sure it aligns with what your vision is, and, like, that's a guy you want to coach. Like, if you tell me, hey, this year, like, I'm looking for all 6'2" DBs, cool, I can go find a bunch of 6'2" DBs, but do they got, is there something else? Is it hips? Is it their mental? Is it whatever? Or, hey, I need a nickel or a safety, and I want my safety more so 5'10" because this is what he has to do. And stuff like that, but it's cool because he's a young guy. But he's talked about, right? He's my age. He's 30. He's about to be 34. He's 33. But a lot of those scouts are way older than him, right? They've been there for 20 years, 30 years, so they're still probably just like, oh, I got the best talent, or maybe their homework is not done the right way, or it's not for the coach, it's just for the organization. We're trying to get the best guy, not the best guy, like the best athlete we can get, not necessarily the best for what the team needs.
And that's the point I was gonna make, is to piggyback your point. Everything should, in my opinion, should be under the same, alignment and window. So when the coaches go hire the scouting team, because I think it's important for the scouters not to just look for the best player, but the best player that fits that scheme. And even furthermore, what I even noticed with the Steelers scouts is they would try to find the best guys that fit the scheme that are actually in close vicinity of the team already.
Wow.
And you don't even really think of that, but it's like it's easier to get a guy to, you know, come down the street or come 2 hours away where he's living an hour away. You know, that's like an easy commute for him.
Yeah. And you know the weather.
And you know the weather is comfortable. You used to playing, and you know what I mean? Like,
Smart.
I start seeing, I'm like, you know what, that's actually a very smart way
So
to
you run a
scout.
business.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I when I see other teams, it's like the owners on this page, the GM and coaches on this page, the scouts on this page. It's like, of course you're
That's
losing.
the worst teams in the NFL.
You know what I mean?
How long was that, Jack?
20 minutes.
Oh, fuck. All right, we're going to cut that.
long, huh?
Yeah, that wasn't kind of long.